and Kojo Show. Welcome back to episode, I don't even know what, I think 3 of the Omid Kojo Show live.
Episode 4.
And is it 4? We're powering through these.
It's 4.
Yeah,
we are. We're getting it done.
Yeah.
All
Let
right.
us know in the comments if you enjoyed it so far.
So, it's pretty much an illusion twist, and then you do a scissor or inside round at the end. Now, lots of people were calling it a B-twist. People were calling it B-twist Feilong, and all kinds of madness. Quite a few people call it a Hawkeye. And I think that really shows how confused we are when it comes to terminology and tricking. It's like there's a load of, like that trick itself, that trick could be like 5 different things, but it's also definitely not a load of other things. So I wanted to talk to you about that, Omid, about how important is terminology when it comes to like what things aren't, because I think that's where it actually matters.
Yeah, and I agree. But I guess that kind of dictates what things are as well. But we Kojo and I basically discussed this for like 2 seconds prior to us going live. And my original, well, one of my points was, Kojo said that a lot of people were calling it B-twist scissor. And I kind of get where people are coming from, but it's just not, because it doesn't do enough rotation for it to be a B-twist. And the point that I followed on to say was, well, a B-twist scissor to me would be a 1.5 twist landing in mega with the scissor out. And
so you could call it, I know Mark said in the Facebook group, B-kick scissor. I think you could say B-kick scissor, but that doesn't really explain what's going on with the outside crescent. And it was an exaggerated outside crescent. It was clearly there. So yeah. I think illusion twist scissor makes a lot of sense. Illusion twist inside round. People saying Boyka kick because it's done in the film Boyka, but he does it from a pop 360 takeoff. So you could say maybe like B kick Boyka or something. But see, you could say all of those things, but there's things you definitely couldn't say. I think that's what I wanted to get onto. How people are calling it like other moves. It's definitely not a B-twist Feilong, because it doesn't land how a B-twist Feilong would land. The round comes out the other way. It's an inside round, not like a normal round. So it's definitely not a B-twist Feilong. We can agree on that. And yeah, because I always thought terminology is not that important. And I still think it's not super important. Like something can have multiple names. But going back to what we said in the last episode, like this can be a hat and it's a cap. It's got multiple names. It still makes sense. I'll tell you what it's not. And that's a shoe. So I think we should follow the rules of that. Now,
what if you put it on your foot?
Those rules, though. Okay, it's not a chair. It's not a guitar. You can't play it like a musical instrument. And we should follow those rules. So some tricks, they can have multiple names, but then they're definitely not something else. Stanley said, could you just call it illusion twist round? No, because that implies that the round comes out with my knee facing the other way. You could call it illusion twist inside round, which is when you do a round with your knee facing the other way. So yeah, you could call it illusion twist inside round. That's another name for it.
I feel like maybe the angle in which it was filmed at might be kind of throwing people off, because also don't forget, like, when you don't, I don't know, think about, like, if we were to watch like BMXing or something like that, we wouldn't notice a slight like change in foot positioning or landing position and things like that. And it's kind of the same. Even if you are a tricker, you might be looking at it, and if you're not as well versed into like what different landing positions are and what has kind of built up the tricks that we're doing, then you may miss a lot of the technical things that are happening. And I don't mean just for us, I mean for like really, really high level trickers, because the smallest difference can make it a whole new move. Like a shuriken cutter and a crash moon, I don't know, they're kind of part of the same kind of family,
they
but
take off the same.
Minor differences.
They take off the same, they rotate the same amount, they have the same amount of kicks in, but they're different tricks. It's quite interesting.
Yeah. And this is what I think is really important with terminology, because this is probably the only thing that I think is, besides like the obvious things like being able to communicate with one another, but I think it's really important to be able to have these things to differentiate between the two, because otherwise everybody would just be calling crash moons shuriken cutter. And to me, when I see a crash moon compared to when I see a shuriken cutter, when it's done well, it makes me so much more hyped than any shuriken cutter ever has. And I think that's where the minor details of the tricks that are being done definitely need that attention to I don't know what's being done and the inversion and like where the hips are and what the kick positioning is and all that kind of thing. Yeah,
I agree. I think we found a good kind of end to the whole terminology topic there. I think something can have like multiple names that make sense, but it's important that you don't call it something else, like another trick that already is established and exists, because then it is just wrong and it does confuse things and it messes people up. So something can have like 5 names, but don't call it another trick, because then it's just wrong.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, let's talk about something more interesting than terminology, because who cares?
I don't know. I think it's an interesting topic, and I think it also needs to be discussed for the I don't know, for the community as a whole to kind of get involved. Yeah. But what was you know what? Let's make it real personal for a second. How's your day been? Have you had a good day?
I have had a good day, Omid. I have had a good day. Shall I run you through my day? What I did today?
Go on. Break it down for me.
All right. So I got up, and first thing I had some coffee and then edited. I edited a video, a critical eye video on Eduardo Ruvalcaba's style, breaking down why his tricks look so good. And that was pretty fun, like trying to execute my points in that. Then I had a hot bath. I have a hot bath pretty much every single day because my body's so stiff. So my routine is having a hot bath and then doing stretching, mobility, using my various massage tools and trying to get my body to work. And then I did some basic kicks in the garden, but I was like, yo, I feel pretty good actually. So then I went to the park, had a session. Someone said, I did a touch chamois cork D-leg, and they walked past and said, oh, yeah, I used to do that when I was 7 or 8. This middle-aged woman said. And I was like, what, you did the first touch chamois cork D-leg then? Okay. No, I didn't say that to her. I just looked at her with disdain and carried on.
Oh,
but,
my God. Oh, I do that a lot. I hate that. When you see, like, there's always... I had a 70-year-old, well, must have been 70-year-old man walking past the other day. And he clapped for me, and he was like, oh, that was brilliant, that was. I used to do that when I was your age, and I was like, "No, you fucking didn't. I just did mega aerial, vanish side swipe semi, front swing raise, swing gainer scissor. You did not do that when you were my age."
Imagine he did, though. Imagine he did. He was just like a pioneer of movement, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I used to do that," and then just carries on walking. He dedicated years of his life to it.
Yeah, I just used to do it for my football celebrations. The lads loved it. I just thought it was a bit of fun.
Well, then after that, I had this family come up to me. Everyone was bothering me today. I don't know why, but everyone was bothering me today. They came up to me, and they wanted me to show the kid some tricks. It was like an 8-year-old. So, if it was just the adults, then I would have been like, nah, because I don't like people trying to demand things from me. But for the kid, I was like, oh, I'll show him some flips. So I said, look, I'm going to do 5 backflips on one leg. And I did 5 switches. And then the guy was like, oh, can you do those ones where you jump backwards onto your hands and go over your head? I'm like, I've just shown him something. He has never seen someone do 5 switches in his life. In person, he will have never seen that in his life. But he wants to see something that he's seen 1,000 times. Like, why do you want to see the thing you've already seen in all these films instead of something you have never seen in your life? But yeah, the mind works in crazy ways.
I don't know. Those kind of interactions, it always perplexes me. Like, what? I don't know, because you and I have had some, especially, growing up in Birmingham, we've had some interesting experiences. Like, do you remember when I think I'd been tricking for about a year at this point, and we were outside uni, one of these gyms that we used to train at, and we were just training on the grass after the session. It was a beautiful day. It was a Sunday, bear in mind, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Somebody walks past, this like middle-aged woman just walks past, absolutely furious, and goes, "Get a fucking job. I was like, first of all, fuck off. I've got a job. And second of all, let me do my flips without, like, verbally assaulting me.
Well, what I like to think about is imagine the way people, like, approach us. Imagine you approach someone who is jogging around the park, that or someone who's playing football.
What I'm saying?
You see someone practicing their free kicks, you're like, get a fucking job. Or, I'll do that one again. Imagine you did that to someone jogging.
Yeah,
I'll run another lap.
You just go up to someone who's riding their bike and just go, oh, do the one where you go faster. Go off that jump over there. Go on.
Oh, can you do it on one wheel? Can you do it on the front wheel?
Oh. Well, to be fair, people do that kind of thing, honestly.
Not with people just riding their bikes, though. But it's crazy how somehow practicing your flips means everyone is entitled to come and demand things from you and give their 2 cents on what they think of you for some reason. I don't know. I don't really get it. I've started just ignoring my policy is if someone likes it, like I had an old woman say, oh, that was very good. And I'm like, thanks. I'm like, nice. I smile. I'm like, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But when it pisses me off when they ask me to do things, because it's like, unless you're paying me, I don't see why I'm performing for you. Like, you don't know me. I don't owe you a service. I'm clearly doing something right now.
Also, you're already there doing flips. Just stand where you are and just watch. You'll see some more flips.
Like, I don't mind that. I don't mind people watching. I don't mind people. I don't even care if someone's filming. But it pisses me off when they try and request. Like, this isn't a request kind of thing. Like, I'm doing something that doesn't involve you, strange man who I've never met. Like, but they just don't seem to get it.
I do like it when people take an interest, and like, especially the older people, because I feel like the older people, once you've been on this planet for long enough, when you've been around for like 75 years or some shit, you've kind of seen everything, and everything just kind of blends into one. So I do understand why they'd be saying, "Oh yeah, I've seen that before." All right, you know, I used to do that when they used to just jump over their hands into a back handspring kind of thing or whatever. But like, it's the younger people that just kind of, I don't understand why they feel the need to like get involved. Because like for me, I always train like really far off, like away from people, and people that are walking past, because there's like a walk, like a path nearby. If it's the younger people, they tend to either shout things and just be like, oh, do that again. But then the older people are just like, oh, very good. And they're clapping for me and it's nice. But like,
yeah,
I just don't understand why everyone needs to get involved with everything. It's like when I see people playing football, I'm like, oh, go on, pass it to me. I'm like, I don't know these people. I'm not getting involved.
Though saying that, I did get involved with that guy yesterday who had his diesel scooter thing. But actually, he started the interaction though. Okay, so this guy's riding around on his diesel scooter at the park, and he was like, "Oh, nice flips, bro." So I was like, "Oh, yo, ride it past as I do some flips." And then I got him driving past as I did game switches. You're gonna see that tomorrow on Instagram. It's sick. It was a good.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite clips of Kojo. You can see his stupid grin as well while he's doing it, and also the guy that was riding past absolutely loved it. You can just see how much of a big grin he's got on his face. I love it.
Oh, all right, let me read one of these comments. Have you ever had that very washed up obese former gymnast giving you advice on your tricks? In the very early days, I've had obese former gymnasts, never out in the public, only in the gym. But he was actually quite good with the tips. You remember that guy, Omid? The big fat one at GMAT. Big fat guy at GMAT.
What was his name?
Big
Bill.
Yeah. Big fat Bill.
Fat Bill. Yeah, that's who it was.
Yeah, he actually had some good tips. He helped me with my back handspring, so fair play to him. But
yeah, he was a good coach.
Yeah. All right. What else we saying, people? And what when you do flips and someone just come near and trying to do something with you? A couple of times I've had people come over and try and like join in, which I don't mind. It's like even if they're just trying to like do a round off, I don't mind that. I like it when other people do some flips too. I had one of them come, and without a warm-up, he was like, oh, he was like, that's sick. And then he tried to do a round-off backflip, landed on his knees and chest, and got up in a daze and left. That was probably my favorite experience like that.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. Did I send you that footage that my cousin sent to me?
What is it?
That kid that was in the park. Opposite
oh,
our
yeah,
house.
yeah. Flailing around on mental.
So funny. He's like, it looked like he was trying gainers and stuff, but he was just kind of like running on the grass and then just like jumping off one leg. The first video that she ever sent me, because she sent me a video like a week before. So basically, okay, just for context, my cousin lives opposite a big park and there's like a big open field. And she sent me this video and it was like 2.5 minutes long. And basically, he was just kind of running around and swinging his right leg up and then just jumping back onto his feet. And he wasn't doing a flip or anything even close to a flip, but it kind of looked like he was trying tricks. And then after about 2 minutes of him just kind of running around in a circle and swinging and jumping onto his feet, he just kind of sat down on the ground with his arms on his knees and his head in his hands.
He wanted that gainer, but it wasn't happening today.
It wasn't happening.
You should send me that video and I'll edit it in over this for the YouTube version, because it is pretty funny, you know.
That's great.
Let's read it. We had one guy at a grass sesh who came to us explaining the secrets to get strong at jumping, saying like train your calves and train your quads and shit. I've not had it.
Was this in America?
No, he's German, I think.
Oh,
but
okay.
At the gym, so in the early days at the gym, there used to be a lot of people who would piss me off, always trying to give me their stupid advice that I don't care about. I've been trying quad falls on the trampoline before and had a guy who can't do double fall trying to tell me how to do it. And I don't understand how these people think. I don't understand, you know, how they're approaching the situation. But yeah, best to just be like, yeah, cool, and just kind of carry on.
We used to have that a lot when we were younger, and now I don't know whether it stopped because they realized that we any advice that they could give us is probably not really going to be applicable, because like their knowledge of back handsprings and full twist probably isn't going to help me with my cork swipe 9 vanish snafu. And
yeah,
I don't know whether it's because of that or whether it's because me and you have just kind of got to the point where we're so fed up of it that we're just kind of like, fuck off. Like, because I'm never going to be like straight rude to somebody, but it's very obvious when I do not care about what you're saying to me. And when I'm training, I don't really have the patience for anybody trying to give me tips on things like that.
Honestly, now it's a different thing. Now I worry more about people asking. It's more people asking me for tips than it is people trying to give me tips. In the early days, people used to bother me, trying to give me tips. And now people bother me asking me to give them tips, which I'm happy to give anyone tips who's trying. I'm happy to help people. I'll spend 25 minutes or half an hour helping someone, but not while I'm training. Like either like after I've trained or if I'm not training. If I'm training, then I'm doing something, you know, like in the middle of something. That's the way I see it. It happens the most in America. In America, then everyone just wants to talk to you all the time and bother you. So I found it's worse in America. I don't even go to gyms. When I'm there now, I try and avoid going to gyms, train on grass, because it's not even worth it, the amount they just want to hassle you.
Yeah, no, I feel that. And also I feel like people in America, well, okay, let me also just say this. I feel like you might get it more so now because I feel like you have a slightly, I don't know, especially when you're shaven, you've got a more approachable face, because I don't get it that often. And I think a lot of the time, especially in the gym, I like, even if I'm doing like 10 to double whatever, and I can see that, because you know, and you can kind of tell that people are like staring at you and like it feels like they're about to come over, but they never actually do, because thankfully we're in the UK and people just kind of have ridiculous boundaries and they don't ever break them.
Yeah,
but you've got a problem because you got a cute little button nose.
Yeah, look, someone just commented, Sam Kojo, please poo in my mouth. I can't help it. You know, it just. I'm at the gym. Everyone just wants me to poo on them.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm not. Maybe I don't have one brewing. You know. Maybe I'm saving it for later. You know.
We can't all be as fortunate as Sam Kojo. We can't have a face that looks like it wants to be someone to poo it. I don't even know. What kind of face is that?
Someone, Danny Jordan said, Omid, I watched the battles with you on Adrenaline. Would like to see you battle more. You did so amazing stuff there, and the level of your tricks was insane. Oh, I thought you was going to bring up when you did the leapfrog over me in the battle, because we had the funniest moment. I don't know. I've not seen all the videos on Adrenaline, but I think that's the funniest thing on the site. Omid did a leapfrog over me in a battle against the Takahashi brothers, against the 2v2 champs. Omid leapfrogged over me into his combo. It was amazing.
I leapfrogged over him straight into sideswipe. Like, I landed and went straight to sideswipe. And originally, I was going to do the touchdown raise punch trick. But if I'd have done, like, I was just going off. But still, I did punch dub. And I think it's one of the best duo combos that's ever been done, in my opinion. In my humble opinion. But yeah, I don't know. I would like to battle more. I don't know whether it's worth it for me at this point, because the risk of injury is too high. However, there is a part of me that really enjoys battling, because I feel I really enjoy the mind kind of games that come with battling, like where you watch somebody do a combo and then you think, okay, I can do something similar to that, but I can do it in my way, and I know I can do it better. And then I have to just make sure that I keep my focus and do exactly what I set out to do, and the competitive edge as well, because I am a competitive bastard. I can't help it.
Yeah, I mean, you've always kind of enjoyed battles, though, and you've always been pretty good at battles too. Which I think, for me, I just approach the whole thing differently. Like, I have the same thing going on where I don't want to risk my body. It's not worth it for me, because there's a much higher chance of injury. But also another way to think about it is just the whole way I look at tricking. I don't look at tricking like, if you win all of the battles at all the gatherings, you're the best tricker. Like, I don't think it matters at all. And I get that it matters to other people, but to me personally, it doesn't matter. To me, it's like, would you rather play guitar in the Beatles and make all these amazing, successful songs, or would you rather win all of the guitar competitions? That's how I see it. I see battling, it's like if you're a musician, and instead of being Jimi Hendrix and performing on stage and making great music, you're winning all of the guitar playing competitions. Like, the real value comes from the combos you produce and the samplers you put out, and like how good your tricking is. I care more about that. I don't really care about beating anyone else, because that doesn't mean shit to me. But I understand how that means something to other people.
Well, I agree. And I've never, ever, ever won a battle and thought anything other than, oh, okay, that was cool. And then that's the only thing that comes into my head. But if there's money on the line or something like that, then like, okay, cool, that's great. I won some money, like, and I've trained, and now I've actually got the monetary reward just for the training that I've put in prior to this event. But I've never specifically trained for battles, really. I've had combos in my head, and it's like, but it never like changes the way that I train. So the way I see it, it's like, I don't know, how can I? So when I go into any battle, everybody knows who's better than who. And I don't really care who's better. I'm just trying to be as good as I can be, so that when I look at my footage and I look at my progression over the years, I'm happy with the tricks that I'm doing, and I can get the joy that I want out of the tricks that I'm doing, basically. So it's like, I don't, you know, when you play like a FIFA game against somebody, if you beat them, it can still be fun, even if you're walking away from it. You're not thinking like, oh, I'm better than this person that I played.
Yeah,
thought that was fun. It doesn't even like enter your mind.
No, I do get that. Like, I've done team battles with people before where I'm being like, oh, that was fun. And I've battled before and it's been fun. I've won battles before and it's been like kind of fun. It's just, it's not fun enough to justify the risk of injury to me. It's nowhere near fun enough to justify, even if it was just 10% more dangerous than my normal training, is that even worth it? Because getting injured for me, like, that's the worst thing that can happen. Aside from a family member or a loved one dying, it's one of the worst things. Like, I'd rather my business go completely bankrupt and be gone. I'd rather have nothing and just have to be living with my parents and have no money for food and just have what they give me. I'd rather that than me break my ankle again. Like, that's how big a deal it is to me. Yeah, like, it's more important to me than anything, really. So that's why a 10% increase in risk, not worth it. You know?
No, I get you. I get you. And I understand that. But there's, I don't know, for me, I feel like we've discussed this a bunch of times in the past, but like, I ended up just kind of getting thrown into that kind of loop of people that were just part of battles. So I think it's also, it's a good thing for me because it means that I can add more value to somebody's event if I'm a guest there or whatever. But by the same token, like, I never want to put myself at risk again for somebody else. And that's the way that
for someone else's gain.
Exactly. That's the way that I see battles, because even if there's money on the line and I could earn some money or whatever the case may be, it's too much of a risk for me to warrant really putting the time in. And also, like, even if I had trained for it, even if I had the option to train for it beforehand, I don't want to. Like, I don't want to change my training just for a battle. Like, I want to make sure that I'm training so that I can get as good as possible, so that I can spread the word of this sport to as many people as possible, even if that is me just going out on concrete.
Yeah, and showing the locals in St. Flutes.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would much rather just, like, do, like, tricks that I find relatively easy on concrete and, like, show people on concrete. Or, like, I don't know, I just feel like the pressure that comes along with battling, like, even if you don't mean it to be, like, pressure-filled, you kind of can't help it. There's always that little bit extra push. Like, when you're in the air and you think, oh, shit, I need to land. It's not the same environment. So, like, there's a little bit more that you'll try and give to force a landing, and it's just not worth it.
Oh, the really interesting one here. Doesn't the adrenaline from a battle give you a better chance of landing really hard tricks? So that should definitely not be the way to approach really hard tricks. You shouldn't need a load of adrenaline to land a really hard trick. You should have just trained all the prerequisites and have the control and the understanding to be able to do that trick. I think if you need that boost of crazy adrenaline to land something, you're training in a very dangerous zone. Like, if you need that to do your tricks, then that's where you might be hurting yourself. You should just have the control to be able to do it completely chill. You should be so prepared that you can just get it done, really. I think trying to do it in front of a bunch of people, I get it. It's hype. It'll be a good moment. You'd feel really good afterwards, but not the smartest way to go about it. I understand why you do it, though. I've done plenty of dumb things because it was hype and fun. Like, I'm not the safest, you know, I'm not Captain Safety. I'm trying to become Captain Safety after the last 2 years of recovering from my ankle, but I've not always been Captain Safety. So I get it. I get where you're coming from. Oh, so, okay, amazing. Don't you still get the public recognition for winning? Yeah, like, if you win hooked and stuff, then that's good public recognition. And
yeah, but who cares?
But it's not that much. It doesn't really change.
Who cares?
Yeah, no, who cares, really? Yeah.
Like, okay, actually, wait, let me just clarify. For anybody who has one hooked, I'm not downplaying the achievements or anybody who's battled it. Yeah. It's cool, but, like, for me, I don't care. And even before, when I did battle in hook, because I battled at hooked one time. Was it one time? Yeah, only one of the years, I think. And
we won the team event.
Yeah.
We won the team battles at hooked.
And I also, that same hooked, I got absolutely annihilated by Velu. I got schooled so bad. I got sunned harder than I've ever been sunned. It was actually like I was stood corner to corner against Sea of Ash. It was crazy.
You got velusted.
Yeah, he killed me.
Yo, one of these comments from Epic Flips 25. Have you ever got into an argument about floor space at open gym?
Okay, so let me just reminisce real quick, and also mention how we're from the UK, so things are a little bit different. There's more of like a kind of catty,
snootiness,
undertone, as opposed to being like, bro, I need the floor space. But that does also happen. But it's never been, I feel like it wouldn't be as bad as other places in the world. But yes, carry on. Sorry.
Are you not going to answer it?
I thought you wanted to.
I wanted to hear your answer. I thought you were going to bring up the guy at Nuneaton Gym.
Well, I was going to bring up something at uni, but you go.
We'll do the Nuneaton one. So we went to this gym that we don't normally go to. Me and Omid were both there. And there was like this middle-aged estate agent man who was... he was kind of like some bodybuilder guy or something. And he could do okay flips, but you could tell he was like the best in the gym there. And he could maybe do like round off Arabian or something. And he got annoyed at us. He said that we were intimidating people by being too good at flips.
Yeah, I mean,
he wanted us to stop.
Now, Kojo and I hadn't trained for a few days, and we went to this gym, and the floor was super good. I really, really liked that gym, and also we drove for like an hour and a half to get there. We had the big cans of Red Bull, and we were super hype. It was very early in me making YouTube videos, so I was saying to Kojo, yo, we need to kill shit, and we were both tricking really great, and we were just like strong men doing our flips, and we weren't being aggressive or anything like that. We were very happy doing our flips, and we took up some space, but this guy he came over and he tried to do that kind of macho man approach where he was like, come on, listen lads, it's not about me, it's everyone else. I mean, there's young girls here. I was like, well, they should be fucking looking at our flips and being like, oh wow, that's really cool. But instead, we get this 39-year-old, I don't know, window cleaner coming up to us and telling us that we can't do our flips because it's scary. What do you think?
I think he wanted us to use less of the floor.
Nah, but he was also, it wasn't just using less of the floor. He was saying like, because the way that you're doing them as well, like, and it's just like, what, you want me to land softer? Do you want me to be quiet for you? It's a fucking gym. It's like going over to someone in the skate park and being like, listen here, mate, you're too good. You're making me feel bad, and I don't like it. It's ridiculous.
To the guy that keeps asking if Omid's Iranian, he's Iranian. Let's move on. Okay, what was the uni one that you were talking about?
Okay, so I've never. So the reason I prefaced it with the UK thing is because there was a guy that used to go to our uni sessions, and we only had one session a week at this gym, and it was the loveliest gym. It was super warm, had a tramp to a pit, and just floor to pit, and the best floor, one of my favorite floors of all time. And we had 2 hours there once a week, and the rest of the time we were training in the freezing cold in a gym. But the floor was dead and it was trash. So we really wanted as much space as we could in this gym. And there was a guy, and his name was also Bill. And he wait,
is this Big Fat Bill? The Australian one?
This is different Big Fat Bill. Because the other one, the one at GMAC, was Big Fat Bill. But this one's other Big Fat Bill.
Australian one?
The one, they're Damons.
Yeah.
I remember there was a number of occasions where I'd want to just be doing my combos, but he only ever walked into the middle of the floor and did pop 900 without the kick and then kind of fell down. He did that for like 12 years and never once landed it. Not in the time that I saw him.
Not even an exaggeration.
No, for real. He was there before Kojo and I started tricking. We think that the gym was actually built around him. And
he was just already doing his pop nines. They just slid the floor under him after one of his attempts.
But anyway, he used to take so long because he was a heavier set man, and so he'd do his pop 900, and then he'd kind of slither along the floor and then take ages to get up. And I remember one time I was so mad because I couldn't do my combo, and I was just pissed off, and I was an angsty teen. And I remember just being like, I turned to him while he was walking away, and I was just like, "Fuck!" and just kind of screamed at him. And then, yeah, he carried on doing exactly the same thing because I was on his turf.
That's funny. Oh, funny story about that, because someone said R.I.P. Monroe. The Monroe Centre, that was the Birmingham Uni session. That was the gym we were talking about, and they closed it down. But before they closed it down, over the Christmas break, me and Omid, we really wanted a session. Well, and the other boys at the Garrison. So we actually broke into that gym one time in the night, and we had the speakers on and shit, and we had a hype session in the middle of the night. It turned out you could kind of like bend one of the doors and slide through a little gap. So, yeah, funny little story there.
I did that as well one time.
So I was just going to say, Jonas Mo said, yo, Kojo and Omid, I met an orange-haired tricker from the UK at Hooked, but never found him on Instagram. Was it maybe Reese Beardshaw? Did he have like a forms kind of style? I think it was probably him. I can't think of any other ginger UK trickers who are Hooked. But his mom was at Hooked, and she actually got her ass out in the lobby at Hooked. Do you remember that one? Oh, you weren't there. But yeah, that was pretty
I wasn't there, but you told me about it.
That's the main thing. That's the main thing I remember from Hooked. I was like, I just walked out. I was going to the toilet. It was on a Saturday night. And this middle-aged woman, she just had her ass out, showing someone like a tattoo on her ass or something, like right there in the entrance. People everywhere. I was like, damn, imagine your mom came to Hooked and did that. Imagine. Jesus. That'd be bad.
I can't even imagine my mum at Hooked. My mum would just be looking after all the people that were whitey.
Yeah.
She's too much of a goddamn
saint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone said, let's make this more interesting. Have you ever collided with someone at open gym? Now, you have a hilarious story, but you didn't collide with them. Do you remember that clip? The clip of when you wanted to do your tricks and it ended up going super viral. Who was it? Someone kicked Curtis kicked someone in the head.
Okay, so this was my first ever viral video. This one. So 2 free runners, they did a cork towards each other. For some reason, they just wanted to do a cork right next to each other, going towards each other. So they did it, smacked their heads together, and really hurt themselves, obviously, because that's what happens when you do a cork into each other. That's what's going to happen. So they clonked their heads together. They're both laying on the floor dazed, and they're like, ah, and everyone goes over. But this was filmed on my camera because I was just drilling, like watching my own clips back. And I just looked over and I was just like, and then I just carried on tricking, and I got a load of shit for it. People were like, why he no call ambulance? yeah, people hated me for that one.
You looked so disgusted. Like, you genuinely looked like you were so pissed. Like, you were so...
It's because I saw them prepping it. And I was like, why are they going to cork into each other? And then they corked into each other, hit their heads. And I was like, what? Of course you're going to hit your heads if you do a cork into each other, you fucking idiots. But someone asked, where is that clip? I'll try and find the clip. For the YouTube version of this. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to find it. I can't really remember what it's called.
Dude,
do you remember, Omid?
I think it was on Facebook. I feel like you posted it on Facebook.
But it got like 300k views on YouTube, though. I just don't remember what the name of. Yeah.
Well, I remember it going viral because it was on, so like a bunch of people reposted it, and it went viral on Reddit as well. But it ended up kind of spreading, and it went a bunch of places.
Well, I posted it on Facebook, and someone else put it on YouTube, and then it went viral and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It was my edit that like was posted around. I don't know. All right, what else are people saying? When you say a floor is good, how much bouncier is it than normal ground? And the same with bad floors. Okay, so a bad floor can just give you like a little bit of cushion, and it's really hard to explain how much bouncier. It's not even close to air track territory. No, even the most bouncy spring floor is still nowhere near that. But some of the really bouncy ones, like the hook spring floor and some other floors like that, it can make quite a big difference. But we're talking, those thin air tracks that are like that, it's probably still going to be less bouncy than one of those, realistically. So they're not actually that bouncy. The main thing is just the cushion that it gives you and the extra confidence because you've got some give in the floor. It gives you some extra height as well. But spring floors, if you've not been on one, it's not like you're just going to suddenly be a foot higher, Yeah.
A good floor for me is not actually based on the bounce. It's kind of everything else. But having said that, I feel like what makes a good floor needs to have a certain level of bounce. As long as it's not below that level, then it's kind of fine. But then what makes a great floor is like the cushion that you get, the grip of the carpet, how slippery it is, and all the other things that kind of come with that. But there's a couple of quick comments that I want to address very quickly. Right, first thing, Hooked is just a normal Sevestre Chaussee. Yeah, but he does way less tricks until he's in the battles, from what I've seen. Kojo, I want to ask you something. I want to sign up to Kojo Tricking Lab, but I don't know how. First of all, it's Kojo's Trick Lab, not Kojo's Tricking Lab. Second of all, go on www.kojostricklab.com, and it's self-explanatory at that point. Jordan Edwards said, there's a guy at my gym that warms up by crawling across the middle of the floor. I want to punch him. Jordan, the answer to that is you should punch him and make sure you film it and send it to me. And also, I miss you. I hope you're doing well.
Jason PK says Kojo with a dad hat looks like a free runner. And I'm like, I don't know how dad and free runner go together though, because free runners are normally really young. But I guess I am old. I could be a dad. I mean, you could probably be a dad. You got sperm in you, don't you? You could be a dad too.
Kojo, you're showing your age. You're already showing your age. You sound like a dad right now.
I'm going to be a dad.
It's not a dad hat.
It's not
a dad hat because it's just a style of hat, Kojo.
Maybe longer.
Come on.
Oh, yes, longer. Way longer.
Because dads wear caps. But I see kids wear caps.
It's what this is called.
I don't know. I don't care.
It's the style of cap.
But the thing you say about me sounding like a dad, the thing to catch on to is I've just been the same way since I was like 12. People have been saying that I was like an old man. It's not like, oh, I'm just suddenly an old man now. This is just how I am and how I've always been. I don't give a shit. If you think this is a dad cap, if I like a cap, I'm going to wear the cap. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like, I don't fit into the mold of other people. You must have caught onto that by now. Come on. Someone said being a dad your whole life. My parents were calling me an old man when I was 12. I've been schooling people. I used to argue with teachers in school, and I told people, I tell off adults. I told off adults since I was a teenager. I tell off people now. And when I worked at Rush, it was perfect for me because I was telling off all these middle-aged men. I don't know. That's just what I'm like. Get used to it.
Listen. I'm gonna explain it to you because you're going off. He's saying it's a dad hat because it's a type of hat. And you just showed your age so much because you started rambling because you didn't.
You're the same age as me. You're the same age as me. What are you talking about?
But you've got the mind of a 64-year-old.
I don't care what.
No, but that's why he said that you look like a dad because the hat.
He wasn't calling you a dad. You bloody great nonce.
Since when was it called a dad hat?
It's the type of peak that you... Listen, let's get off dad hats.
I don't know. And thanks, Jason said, Kojo, you're still in your prime, bruv. Yeah, I did 10 switches to dub on grass yesterday. Yes, I am. Fuck you, Omid.
Fuck you, what, me? No, fuck you, Kojo. Listen, I'm going to come out. Once I get a haircut, you don't get to say fuck you, Omid, because I'm going to look so young that me and you are going to look like completely... You're going to look like my dad.
But the thing is, if you go bald, you're going to look like a creepy skeleton man. You're going to look like Skeletor. Hercules is going to be coming after you.
Nah, I'm telling you,
I'm going to look like Will Smith in Suicide Squad is how I'm going to look when I'm bald.
You know who I'm going to look like? I'm going to look like Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool. That's what I'm going to look like. I'm going to look
you are
thick. Oh, nice. Got burnt skin.
You're going to look like a burnt penis. That's what you're going to look like, yeah?
No, wrong. Who would I look like? Who would I look like? I'd look like, I don't know. I'm just going to be some jack dude. Bro, I'm working out too much. I'm getting jacked. I'm telling you. I'm going to come out of this looking prison ripped.
Prison ripped.
Yeah.
Not top of the pecking order in the prison, though, you know. What's Dilk said? Kojo, the type of guy to drink IPAs in the sun. Dilk, you took me to a guitar concert in the back room of a pub in Sheffield, and I'm the old man. Come on. Come on, Dilk.
Also,
what other content?
Like IPAs have got past the point of people being like just trendy hipster people drinking them. Everyone drinks IPAs. It's just the way it goes. Now, back when I had the mustache, I was drinking them back before they were cool. No, I'm playing. But yeah, you can't.
What?
IPAs are just a beer now.
Yeah, they're good beers. All right, Danny Jordan said, Kojo, do you think you would get quad cork if your training would only go to this? Okay, so I was talking to Matt Strange about this earlier as well. I do want to be working towards quad cork when I'm back in the gym. I think from now, it's just if I can avoid ankle injury, it'll probably be about a year. I've done it on the trampoline. I know about how hard it is. I can do triple cork every time. I just need to drill my touchdown raise, gain a switch, get it really low, block it more, start doing an extra half twist. I think in a year, I'm going to make that one of my main goals. That'll be my only big power goal, and everything else will be more interesting style stuff. But I do want to get quad cork, yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
I need to get touchdown raise quad on tramp on floor.
Yeah.
I want to get touchdown raise quad so bad. It'll be. I feel like, I don't know, I'm really going to start putting in the work to get that once the world has stopped fucking about with this coronavirus. It's pissing me off.
Yeah.
Also, someone said, is it just me or does Omid have ADHD? He doesn't stop moving. Well, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to sit here like this the whole time? I only speak like this. Remove any other movement. Look how mental it looks now. I'm still speaking, but I'm not moving. You're bloody great cunt.
We're just both like this. I think it's normal to move as you speak. I don't think that's necessarily ADHD, to be honest.
Yeah. But also, I might have ADHD. What? It would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone said, no offense, Omid, but okay, I don't understand. Basically, what he's trying to say is, in prison, you would be the community toothpick. Well, I don't think I would be, because there's no way another man is going to fit me, another man, in their mouth.
I mean, logistically.
Someone just using my entire body as a toothpick. It's just not practical. Let's keep it real.
I can imagine it, though. When I first met Omid, he must have weighed like 10 kilograms or something. I was heavier when I was a baby than Omid when I met him. He was like a rake creature from the pits of Dudley, from the mines of Dudley. You know, remember how skinny you
Yeah.
were? Your arms were like this. Your bicep was like that.
Yeah, I was disgraceful.
Oh, those
I
were
was
days,
disgraceful. I hated it. But then you see, the thing is, I always got people telling me, and this is something I've never understood. People would tell me, "Oh, you're too skinny. Ah, you're this, that, and the other," and they would say it. It was just like normal for people to comment on how skinny I was. If I were to say the same thing to people that were fat, I would get absolutely ruined for it. I'd be told that I was nasty and a bully and all this kind of shit. And it's like, well, it's the same. It's a choice. I just wanted to.
Yeah.
I wanted to get bigger, so I ate more food and I worked out. If you want to get smaller, 9 times out of 10, unless you've got some kind of ailment, you can just look after yourself a little better, and you won't be a disgraceful person. But don't be telling me that I'm too skinny, because it used to piss me off, because it felt like an emasculating thing when people would call me too skinny, and I was just like, oh, fuck off. So I was so mad all the time.
Yeah, just this angry, skinny young boy. Oh, those were the days.
All, you know, the Iranian in
what
me.
People saying, I'm Su Wapan Pongan said, fuck you both. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I can't even read your name. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, fuck us
come
both,
on,
but also fuck you.
What? Someone said, Jonas said, my mango is to blow up and then act like I don't know nobody. What? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about there. I don't know what that's all about.
God.
We didn't even get onto we were going to talk about some deep shit today. And
yeah,
instead, we've ended up talking about dad hats and Omid being skinny and prison and Deadpool.
Should we talk about the Dilk said, what samplers do you think were the most influential, groundbreaking? Okay, so should we have time? Should we do one? Yeah, we got like 5 minutes.
Go on, you do one, I'll do one.
A couple of samplers. Okay, so one for me was Rasmus Art Source, obviously. That video just changed my life. Like, it was something that I didn't even really know tricking was capable of so much when I first watched it. And it was very confusing for me. And also, on a wider scale, it influenced so many people. And it's one of the very few samplers that I think has already stood the test of time and is going to live on for many, many years.
Yeah, it's still a fantastic sample, people say. Okay, for my one, well, first off, Jonas, send me that video so I can see what you're talking about. But I'd say Velu 2010, just because it's a sampler that got me started tricking. It showed tricking in a different light to the kind of extreme martial arts approach. It was very much about like flowy, elegant combos and, you know, nice looking moves above just doing really clean side kicks and stuff. It was the first video like that I saw. So that was what made me start tricking. So I'd say that.
Okay, I feel that. Another one that I also want to mention, a very personal one for me. I was going to say one, but they'd all kind of been released. Any Yaki Break sampler just changed me. Yeah, I used to watch them so much. But the ones with all the Bless the Fall songs, super screamo, crazy music, and I loved the samplers so much that it made me like that type of music. Not that much, but yeah, there was a period.
Yeah. Someone said, just want to check that this is a thing that happens every Saturday. So at the moment, we're doing this every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 8 p.m. UK time. For the foreseeable future, we're going to be doing that. Keeps us busy during this lockdown. So yeah, tune in, join us, let us know what you think. Tell us to fuck off. I don't know what you guys like to do. But yeah, do your thing.
One other thing as
Isaac
well.
says we're weird. Yeah. we are.
Yeah, we are. But one other thing, if you're watching this on YouTube, then make sure you subscribe, because we're going to be posting all of them on YouTube, so you can keep up to date. And if you're watching it live, then if you have missed some of it, then it will be uploaded on our YouTube, on the Omid Kojo show, so you can always go back and watch them. And we've got a bunch of videos on there from before. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Scoot girl, you're late to the party.
Scoot girl. Scoot girl. Yes, Scoot girl. Oh, God.
Okay. That was a good chat. So, someone's asking, would I trick in a phone for 10K? Let's not just have the same questions every time. We already established that, yeah, probably depends on the context. Name of YouTube channel, the Omid and Kojo show. Huh?
I'm single now, so I would, and hopefully it'd get me some of that really, really lovely young lady that would be attracted to me.
You tricking a phone for a tenner.
I'm
tricking a phone for a cigarette.
I'm wearing a thong right now. You don't need to give me nothing. You're gonna have to pay me to take it off.
You dirty nonce.
Stop calling me a nonce. Jason. Also, wait, Scoot Girl said, I know, I fell over and broke a glass.
Scoot Girl, come on.
Girl.
Be careful.
I'm sorry
Don't
to
hurt
hear
yourself.
that. Just take care of yourself, please. Scoot Girl.
Yeah. Come on. Come on now. Would you rather be a Power Ranger or Ninja Turtle? I'd rather be... I want to say Ninja Turtle, but I wouldn't want to be a freakish giant turtle in 2020. It wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
People wouldn't like me. They wouldn't understand. They'd be like, why is he green? Why has he got a shell? You know, I get enough shit for wearing this hat. Like, imagine I had a shell. I mean, so I'm going to go Power Ranger.
I mean, it'd be pretty mental constantly wearing a motorcycle helmet and some Lycra, though. If you were just doing, I don't know, imagine at the gym and you were just wearing a motorcycle helmet and some Lycra. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, okay, listen. We got 30 seconds
there was
left.
that guy at the gym dressed as Spider-Man. Okay. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, everyone who commented and was a part of this. It was a good time. And I would rather be Shrek. I love Shrek. I watch Shrek all the time. Peace.